That's what I'm gonna start off with. That goddamn. Hey
Yeah,
man,
we live.
we live, bro. Oh, hell to the motherfucker. Nah. Y'all see
Hey,
my
bro.
nigga D up in this bitch? My nigga D look like he about to goddamn say a poem to us as I step in the scene. Hey, that shit dope, bro. Nice background, bro, with the fucking hey, that shit fucking dope as fuck. I'm
Hey,
hating right now.
appreciate it, bro.
God
Appreciate it,
damn.
bro. Hey,
Hey, that shit dope.
yeah, I'm testing out the new lights. You know what I'm saying? I got some new lights and shit. You know what I'm
I see,
saying?
I see. I
Some
like
video
that.
lights and shit. So
Oh.
once we start, you know what I'm saying, doing the recording joint, you know what I'm saying, it'll be a little better feng shui. But
Yeah, that
what's
made me
going on,
want.
everybody?
That made me want to go
Welcome
back
to a cold one.
to the set, man. I missed the set a little bit. You don't miss
Word.
the set vibes?
Yeah, I do, bro. I was just thinking about that shit the other day. Like, damn, we've been quarantined for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But
You think it might be what we need to figure out how to be able to go live, live on the set. If we can figure
word.
out how to go live on the set, that might be able to work. And we might need be able to hook the laptop or whatever we use to TV so we can have a bigger screen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just find a way to connect the microphones or something.
Yeah. All
We can
right.
figure that out. We can figure that out.
Word. Well, what's going on, everybody? Appreciate everybody tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Welcome back to another episode of a Cold One
Yeah,
podcast. Y'all already
yeah.
know it's your boy Big D.
Hey man, it's your boy L Dottie. Welcome back, everybody. Man, what's going on? What's happening out there?
What's going on, everybody? Hey, first and foremost, make sure y'all are sharing this to your personal pages, the YouTube link. If you want to hop on the show, let us know. You know what I'm saying? So we can shoot you the link so you can join in. We've got a couple of guests that'll be joining in with us soon. Make sure that y'all got something to drink. That's probably the most important part. You know
If
what
you
I'm saying?
don't
Because
do shit else, you
hey,
bring something to drink, goddamn.
word, because we got some shit to talk about today, bro. Hey, social
It's
media
a
been
lot of
going
shit.
crazy. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's some shit going on, bro. It's some shit going on. You know what I'm saying?
It's some shit going on. We gonna get the definitions and shit a little bit later, but it's something going on. I don't know what the fuck
Word.
it is, but something going on. Goddamn, I feel you. And it's crazy how that shit happened like immediately after we got through with the show on Thursday.
Word. Well, first and foremost, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know this is a cold one podcast, so
Definitely.
we got a couple cold ones, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah.
today, you know what I'm saying, I'm bringing back my old faithful, man, my
Well,
bread and
you
butter.
ooh,
Yeah, this is my favorite, man. Victory Sour Monkey. If y'all
hey,
ain't had it, try it out. For those that haven't tuned in before and don't know what this is, first
yeah.
off, look at that glisten in the light. You know what I'm
Look at
saying?
the
Shout out to the new
glisten
lighting,
in the
bro.
light.
You see that
Oh
glisten
man.
right there?
Yeah, I see the
Goddamn
glisten, boy. That shit look perfect, boy. Is that
word.
a laptop camera looking like that?
Yeah, bro.
What
Hey,
is
it's crazy
that?
what some lights should do, bro.
Woo, that shit look like a motherfucking look like you sitting in front of me.
Word, but hey, this is the Victory Sour Monkey, you know what I'm saying? It is a sour triple, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people will commonly refer to it as a sour. Basically, it's good as hell, you know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for a stronger brew, this is 9.5%. Not sure if y'all can see that. I'm dripping perspiration all on my keyboard.
Too hard.
But but it is 9.5%. So if you're looking for something with a heavier punch,
Yeah.
but you might not like the strong hoppy flavor of the typical strong beer, definitely check this out. I put Larry on it. Every
I
time he come to my
recommend
crib, if I got him in the fridge, he grabbing one of
Yeah,
these. So
I'm definitely got one of those out the fridge, man. Definitely be
word.
grabbing. Man, but I
And
got a
then
cup. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, bro. I didn't mean to
oh
cut you off.
my fault, bro. Nah, this is just a classic right here. You know what I'm saying? Some people might say there's some bullshit, but I feel like I'm not too bougie to drink, you know what I'm saying, a regular everyday brew. You know what I'm
Oh shit.
saying?
What the fuck
So
you got? A
so
natty?
as a backup, nah, I got a Coors Light, you know what
Of
I'm
course,
saying?
like okay, that's not that
Yeah.
bad. That's not horrible.
Word.
Hey, I thought you made it
Word.
sound like you was going back to the natty days, to the Milwaukee's best. Goddamn.
Hey, I'm a matter of fact, I know what I'm gonna do for the next episode. So y'all stay tuned. Watch what I bring on here this Thursday.
You see how
Cause
inspiration
motherfuckers be
happens.
people be acting bougie, bro, with the brews. But
Inspiration. They be acting
what you
like
got
they
over there,
ain't
bro?
never had no. Okay, well, over here, man, I got a couple of things in the cooler, man. I got the Wicked Weed Brewing Appalachian Seasoned Mountain IPA.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I also have a Budweiser. We're talking about back in the day, Budweiser Black Label with the Jim
Ooh.
Beam in the barrel.
Oh,
And
oh,
then
that's a joint that's brewed in the Jim Beam barrel, so it got a little bit of
yeah.
that bourbon
Yeah,
taste.
that bourbon taste to it. Yeah, and so
Mm-hmm.
also because a lot of people seem, I don't know whether they think that what we do, whether it's genuine or not. Like we don't
Mm-hmm.
really do a lot of talking before the show. We
Yeah.
try to be like, hey, bro, let's talk about this. This is what's gonna happen. We got these people want to come through, and we typically make it happen fairly fast. You know what I'm saying? So
Word.
I just wanted to say that to say, man, we be on the same shit a lot of times. If y'all go back, we gonna do a compilation one day of the shit that we was like just synced on, because it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that shit. And it just never ceases to amaze me every time when we sync up on some shit, because we've known each other for a long time. But the last brew I'm gonna do is got to be the one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Our monkey, baby.
Yes, sir. Y'all know the fuck going on, goddamn.
Y'all know how we give it up in that motherfucker. Man, we need a
You know what I'm
soundboard, bro.
talking about?
Y'all know how we giving it up in here, nigga. Victory Sour Monkey, man. The triple 9.5. This gonna be the finish him today. Goddamn, watch
Word.
that shit. Y'all need to try that shit and let us know what
Word.
y'all think about it. That's a good brew. But I'm gonna start off with the wicked weed though, man.
Okay, word. Well, real quick, I want to get a couple of these shout outs out. So shout out to Lanaja. She tuned in with her wine, so shout out to her. Shout out to
Shout out to you,
Talia.
Lil
We got Cairo in the building. He
Nas.
said he on the Crown. Shout out to
Cairo.
Cairo on that bourbon. No,
All
well,
right, take it easy.
is Crown bourbon or is it Scotch? I know it's a whiskey. I gotta look into that. But shout out to him on the whiskey, regardless. You know what I'm saying? Allison in the building. My boy
What's
Brian. Shout out to y'all.
What up? What up?
You know what I'm
Arkel,
saying?
I
Shout out
see
to
you in the
everybody.
building, man. What up? I see you, bro. What up?
Word.
What up?
Definitely appreciate the love. Make sure y'all sharing this to y'all page, because we're gonna go ahead and get into it. But first, we got some exceptional ladies in the building. Shannon just tuned in too.
Hey,
Shout out to
Shannon.
Shannon. We got some exceptional ladies in the building today to join us in on this conversation. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring in first. One of the faces is very familiar to y'all, always bringing an amazing perspective.
Yeah,
Definitely appreciate her tuning in. She must be trying to get the position of a first lady or something.
Yeah,
as much as she be on the show.
She's definitely
You know
a regular at this point.
Word. So Izzy, what's going on, baby?
Hey guys.
What's happening? What's happening? And we let her know Cornwall is gonna be like your bar place. We was just talking about this backstage. It's like a bar where you go and grab a good drink and have a good conversation. So you're a regular at this point, Izzy. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm about to have, be a city girl. You know what the fuck time it is? Your motherfucking girl Izzy. She back on the motherfucking cold podcast or whatever for the third time. Call me 1, 2, Trey. Let me stop. I like to play around, but I enjoy the conversation with you guys, even though, it do get a little spicy, but I think it's good conversation. So that's what the people need.
Yeah, good
get
quality.
Some going.
Yeah, premium quality.
Word. That's what's up. So we're gonna go ahead and bring on Tashina. It looks like she might be having some audio issues, but let me bring Tashina on. Tashina, you still with us? Cricket. All right, okay. I think she left and rejoined.
Okay, yeah, left and rejoined. There we go.
Tashina, can you hear us?
Yep, now I can hear y'all.
Welcome back.
Hey Tashina, you look so pretty tonight.
People. Thank you, girl. I finally got this post quarantine hair done.
Oh, girl.
Yes,
yeah.
My first haircut, I was feeling like a whole new.
I was masked up though.
Yeah.
Word. That's what's up. Hey, so friendly reminder, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about y'all. Some people still out here risking it. I know several people personally that done caught the Rona. So just a friendly reminder to stay y'all asses home.
Stay y'all ass the fuck home.
Stay y'all asses home, man, because this shit is not letting up. You know what I'm saying? And
going down out there.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to be dumb, you know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna call you dumb, but if you want to be dumb, I'm gonna say it anyway. You know what I'm saying? And you want to go out and be all out and about, running the streets and all that. Don't come to us asking for our prayers and our thoughts, you know what I'm saying, as you lay on your damn sick bed. Because we told y'all asses to keep y'all asses at home. You know what I'm saying? Is that too savage, bro? That's too far?
I'm gonna still pray for him, bro. But damn, I mean, yeah, I get your point.
I'm gonna pray for him. I'm gonna pray for you. But don't ask me to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
You
do
know
it
what
on
I'm
my
saying?
own will. You can't ask me to do the shit after you done did the shit that you knew was gonna get you that shit. I got you.
Word.
Got
All
you.
right, so real quick, ladies, why don't y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves? Izzy, I know you've been on here a million times, but just in case we got any new people, go ahead and kind of let us know your names and your social media handles and any shout outs you got, all that good stuff. Let's start with Izzy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Izzy. My social media is I_Enigma. It's displayed on the screen. Nothing to promote. I'm just here to talk shit and that's it.
Word. That's what's up.
Sounds great.
All right, Tashina, go ahead.
Hey y'all, my name is Tashina. I know my thing says Diana, aka Diamond. That's my group me name. My social media is at Chips No Dip 920. That's my IG, so you can follow me on there. I don't have nothing to promote yet, but hopefully soon come.
Word. That's what's up. Hey, real quick, ladies, are y'all single?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, she had
As
she
a
had to think about it. Look,
Nah,
she was like,
hey,
wait,
nah,
what day is it?
go, come on here. Go come on the show looking all appetizing. Now I see. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but first of all, you talking about entanglements. You come and look like you want to get entangled. Yeah.
Word. So, hey,
Oh my God.
I think it fits very well. You know what I'm saying that today's topic, we are talking about entanglements. You know what I'm saying. So those that aren't familiar, you know what I'm saying, we'll go ahead and kind of give y'all an overview. Well, y'all probably know what the hell going on, but in case you don't, Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, she became friends with the popular artist known as August Alsina. And they initially, I guess, were friends. Allegedly, they were introduced through her son, Jaden Smith. And over time, now, mind you, during this time, August Alsina was very sick, going through different things throughout life, all of that good stuff. And somehow throughout their bond, I guess you could say, Jada and August ended up in what she refers to as an entanglement. So, social media is going crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? Firstly, I just want to get y'all initial responses because this is a word that's going around. Like, I know people making T-shirts with the word entanglement on it. People marking their, you know what I'm saying, their relationship status as entanglements. You know what I'm saying? So how y'all feel about the word entanglement just in general? Like, how do y'all feel about, I guess, how she chose to define it?
I think being a bullshitter myself, I understand exactly what she was trying to explain without explaining it. You know what I'm saying? Because what she in was some mess. And the root word of entanglement is tangle. So, she was basically trying to say she was in some messy ass shit that she couldn't get out of because she was trapped. But overall, she should have just said that she was just getting dicked down by a young something.
I think
That's
that
it.
would have. Yeah, I think that would have definitely.
It would have been more honest.
Because they didn't say shit really.
Exactly.
No,
That's what
no.
I was thinking, bro. Like,
See,
I
here's
feel
the
like they
thing.
said a bunch of nothing.
A
They
bunch of
said a lot. They
They
said a lot
right?
if you know how to read between
Right.
lines and if
Yeah.
you know how to sift through some bullshit, you gotta get a
Your
couple of
silence,
brushstrokes and
you
stuff
know
through
what
it. You know
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word. Okay. So Alicia, she's saying that shit was a cop out. You know what I'm saying? And then she also said she didn't want to call it what it really was.
Word.
So
It's a lot
I
of things
mean,
to break, but I want to be able to do this thing justice, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, do you think it's a good idea for us to kind of dissect? I mean, we got time. We just getting started.
hey,
You know
bro,
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
dissect that
So,
shit.
to dissect it. I mean,
Yeah.
we
I
can
think
put it
that's what that
let's
makes
do
sense
that.
because there's a lot of stuff that was said that if you know how to read through bullshit, you need to unpack it to think through it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. Because it's a
Yeah.
lot. It's a lot too. It's a lot of elements to this, and we don't want to premature, I guess, if you will, on what we have to say about it. Because there's so many things going in my mind about this thing. But I'm gonna generally say that I think that both parties are wrong. More wrong on Jada's end, but then goddamn the wrong that Augie did.
Called his ass Augie.
So
You
I
got
feel
you gotta call Jada. You gotta call Jada Miss Jada. Goddamn, you gotta put a Miss in front of her name. Goddamn, Miss Jada and Augie. You got. I think I have to change his name to fucking May or some shit.
yikes. What's crazy is like my daddy's name is August, so I always feel a way because like I seen August up and down the timeline. I'm like, that's my daddy name. Now I'm feeling a way about it because my daddy don't do shit like this.
She said he done disgraced the name August.
He did.
So
He did a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I guess we'll to start dissecting it. I mean, what the fuck is an entanglement? Like how do we even define a damn entanglement? Like
Well,
what the hell is it?
let's
It's
define
when you.
entanglement.
So I think entanglement is when you find yourself dealing with someone who can actually get your leg over your neck. So that means you're now entangled. So
Mm,
someone can stretch you out, that now becomes an entanglement.
mm,
If he or she can't stretch you out,
mhm.
y'all are just like y'all are like parallel. Y'all just caught. You entangle once your limbs start going different places. Once y'all just parallel parking. So I feel like Jada was really, Augie just looked like he a lot more flexible
Augie.
now. Body just health looking a lot different. So I get what
She
she
had some
meant
of
by
that, yeah, that Jada juice, that JJ. You know, had some of that
yep.
JJ.
That
Okay,
yoga,
so by
that
Wow.
woman
definition,
yoga.
all right, we're gonna give it context, y'all. By definition, entanglement, the action or fact of entangling or being entangled. So, an example is many dolphins die from entanglement in fishing nets. Okay,
Damn.
a complicated or compromising relationship or situation. Plural noun entanglement, romantic entanglements. Okay, so entanglement refers to a romance as well, which is what
Yeah,
you
but it's messy though. Remember when I said the root word was tangle, so it got to
right.
be some shit. It got to be some mess involved with it. You know what I'm
It
saying?
like
You
thorns.
know,
When I think entanglement, I think like thorns and shit
right?
because it's so messy. If you entangled, it can't be good. You know what I'm saying? And August was really entangled, bro. He was entangled. He done
Yeah.
goddamn had some of that finer than wine, goddamn nectar. And got, I
Bro.
love that shit. Face ass.
Bro, this man said if he died right now,
Mm,
he would die happy and
mm,
content with
mm.
everything that happened, all things
Knowing he
considered.
found love. Okay, so that statement right there. Okay, can we start there
Yeah,
because
yeah. Okay. Oh, D, were you gonna play? Were you gonna play it, D?
No, hell no.
Okay.
That shit way too long.
okay,
We be here
so
all night watching all that shit.
for me when I watched that, I was just like a couple of things ran through my mind. I was like, number one, how do you say publicly that you could be content dying today at 27 years old, knowing that you found love with someone else's wife?
Mm,
Like so there's layers to that statement in itself that had me looking at him like, whoa,
mm,
that's so that means that nothing it doesn't get any better for you than this moment, which
mm,
is absolutely false because you're only 27. You haven't even experienced half of the stuff that you're going to experience in your lifetime. And most of the stuff that he's been through has been mostly negative. I don't know if he actually has ever experienced true happiness, if the happiness that he got was being involved with somebody else's wife. That's a
mm,
really deep statement for me. When I heard that, I was like, ooh, and it also sounds really suicidal. So August, I don't know if you'll ever hear this, but seek real counseling. Go to rehab. Go to one of them celebrity rehabs where they put you up in a hotel or in one of them little, big ass ranches with a nice ass room. And they take your phone and your social media account away, and you just get deep, intense therapy for 8 hours a day. I implore you.
Word. So that actually brings up a good point. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of people have been looking at it like from a comedic angle. But I guess the question that needs to be asked is, in this situation, is August a victim, and is Jada a predator?
Mm.
So here's how I feel about that. I am from the school of thought to an extent. Like after a certain age, you're grown, and while I get there are definitely power dynamics, um, I don't know if, and this is even when the shoes on the other foot, man, woman, if predator is the word, unless you're talking about literally grooming somebody from their teenage years and then wait until they turn a certain age to get them. However, for the people, and a lot of what I saw on social media is people who will use a dynamic like this when the shoes on the other foot and your words like predator and everything else, were quick to say, well, August is a grown man.
Mm-hmm.
When, and he didn't get taken advantage of, and I'm like, well, oftentimes we talk about this situation with young women, we talk about power dynamics like fame a man might have, access to money, all these other things that will make an imbalanced power shift. And it's like looking at August and the time of his career when he was around them. I don't know if y'all remember those pictures, but like we were joking about him being like a fourth Smith child, because it looked like the dynamic was of this family had taken him in. He was suicidal, at the time he was sick. All these things were happening to him, and this nice celebrity family took him in. And come to find out, he ends up sleeping with the wife, or, regardless of what Jada and Will's situation was at that time, he ends up being intimate with somebody who he has opened up to, which I can see as a young man how that confusion comes to thinking this is real love, because he probably is getting motherly love that he may have not been receiving from her, while at the same time he's getting a romantic love. And when you're that young, you don't know sometimes where lines aren't supposed to blur, because you just need love, period. So I mean, if you are somebody that lives by the thought that, hey, certain age gaps, even if the person is grown, feels predatory, then yeah, Jada fits into that category. If you feel like, I'm not gonna call her a predator, but was she still kind of shitty for messing with him? Yeah, because you got to take some accountability for who you bring in your bedroom.
Yeah. For me, August is definitely a victim because August, since he came onto the scene, has not been in his right mind. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, he started his YouTube channel because of all the stuff going on around him and he needed an outlet. So even before he became famous, he had a lot of stuff happening within his life. And then I will say that I do think Jada took advantage of him, whether it was intentional or not. She is in a position of power, and then she also sought him out to, quote unquote, help heal him, which she's severely underqualified to do that shit. Period. You're not a therapist, you're not a life coach, and you're not his mom. You're not akin to him. You're nothing to this person. So, like, what made you feel like you could do that? So I definitely think she took advantage. I'm not really ready to say predator because, and this is not just because I'm a woman supporting another woman, because I do hold everybody accountable, but I feel like a lot of young people like to date much older people. So especially when we're talking about people who are of age, who are seeking to have like that daddy or mommy figure in their lives, that's what they do. It's something that I have done. And I will never say that someone took advantage of me, because when I was 26, I was dating a 44-year-old because I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew exactly what I was getting into. And August was not a child when this happened. So I can't say she's a predator. I will say she took advantage of a person who was vulnerable, but she was also vulnerable. And maybe it was unintentional because she was going through some stuff.
Okay. What you think, Larry?
Oh man, it's a lot, man. First thing, what I say is that that was definitely predatory behavior, and if it was a guy who had done the same situation to a younger woman, then he would be labeled all kind of predator. So I'm gonna go out on the limb and say, goddamn, she goddamn preyed on his ass, bro, because they goddamn recognized that he had an issue. Once when you recognize that somebody has an issue, it is up to you and your conscience to be like, as an adult now, because let's not play. Okay, he was of age, but we see example after example where children, especially in their younger 20s, are still having issues adjusting to life. You see what I'm saying? So she took advantage of him, and then he's in that circle, that Hollywood, circle, that shit, the industry. He's in the industry. You know what I'm saying? So he has access to other people such as Will and Jada, and I'm trying to think about like at what point did the conversation go from, oh, you're Jaden's friend to, hey, Jaden's friend. You know what I'm saying? At what point did the conversation transition? You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, she just like Alicia, she's 20 years older. She's 20 years older. She knew what the fuck was going on, and she did some shit that she ain't had no business doing. If a grown ass man would have did the same thing to a woman 22 years old, everybody would be saying that nigga took advantage of her mentally. You're talking about predatory behavior. It don't always have to be physical. Mentally, being a predator is a thing as well, because if you can get somebody's mental, she was probably the inspiration for that shit that he loved.
You stupid.
I love this shit. Talking about Jay, that nigga was hitting notes and shit. That nigga was entangled. He was in that motherfucking cougar juice. Goddamn it. She was back there on the prowl, nigga, talking about, oh, hey, August.
But I'm glad you brought up how August got introduced into the situation, because that's another thing. In no situation is dating a friend of your child's okay. It's always gonna be creepy because
I ain't gonna agree with that completely.
Unless you're talking about unless your child is like 40 or something like that. When we talk about those young, I'm talking about in the sense of this person has been in your household as a friend. We're not talking about somebody maybe your kid was cool with at cheerleading camp.
Yeah, I got you.
Because again, that dynamic of trust. Like he probably came in that household. They saw, oh, this one of Jaden's friends. He's a troubled youth. Let's bring him in. And somehow it went from that to, oh, he kind of got that thing on him. To Jaden, why isn't he sleeping in your room on the sleepovers? Why he sleeping in your mama room? Like,
yeah, nobody asks questions. Nobody asks questions.
So this brings another point though, because I thought about this after I had a conversation with some friends. Why in the world was August and Jaden even friends? Because Jaden was 17. August was like 23.
They're both in the industry, and they could have been working on music together.
But my thing is though, you can work on music together, but to be friends, like you're 17. In what world is a 17-year-old friends with a 23-year-old? Y'all can't even go
check your everyday hood. What did you mean?
That
shit happens all the time.
I think that's a little bit weird. I think that even that relationship is a little bit weird. Not enough to like call them significant attention to it, but I think maybe it's because of how Hollywood operates. A lot of things that we typically would like question or side eye gets a pass because it's Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? But in no way in hell, my 17-year-old is gonna be friends with no grown ass man or grown ass woman.
Unless that grown ass man is on his shit and on the path to great success. Now we can't not. I mean, I'm just saying I don't think it's the strangest relationship, you know what I'm saying? Because if there was some good intentions behind it, and let's say that they did have to work, I mean, relationships like that get built all the time. I don't think age should be the definitive factor. But what is the definitive factor is that from the moment that Jaden brought him to the crib
as a friend,
Jaden my homie. Miss Jaden was like, "Hey, young man."
She basically Miss Parkered him.
Miss Parkered this nigga. Come on.
Yeah.
But see,
it was like a Pornhub scene.
And she took, huh?
I said it was like a scene out of a Pornhub movie. Just
no, it really was.
A friend.
Yeah.
Which movie?
Honestly,
Hot mom bangs son's friend. That's the title.
Oh man. Just quick sidebar. These damn porn titles are getting out of fucking control. I just want to say that. But real quick, so for starters, I don't think that the relationship. Well, I don't know the extent of, you know what I'm saying, the relationship between August and Jaden. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how far, you know what I'm saying, like how much they were hanging out or whatever. But I think of it like, you know what I'm saying, big homie, little homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, know what I'm saying? A lot of young dudes typically gravitate towards older dudes, especially if they in the same industry or kind of doing the same things. You know what I'm saying? He could have been like, you know what I'm saying, a big brother. Know what I'm saying, to him, because Jaden doesn't have a big brother. You know what I'm saying? So that might have been like,
Yes, he does.
Jaden.
Will
Trey.
got a son.
He got a whole ass son named Trey Smith. That's damn near our age.
I
Oh,
thought
shit, I didn't know that.
I didn't know about it until he said Trey at the red table. I was like, oh, I didn't know about that. Nigga. I mean, but
Oh damn! Let me find out Will hiding these kids. That's wild. All we hear about is
and here's the gag. Trey
sure he
is
ain't wrong
August.
on that.
Trey is like August's age.
wow. Okay. All right. Well,
Well, you
that's
know what?
all right.
He doesn't hide Trey. Trey, there was an interview they did, and Trey was kind of like he didn't want to be in the spotlight, and they respected
Right.
that. So he comes to like, award shows and support and stuff, but like
He
he
hides
never
in the
wanted to
background.
be famous.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like, my
yeah.
dad got money. I'ma just ride it out, and I'm
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. I'm sure he good. I ain't gonna say he hiding kids, but maybe that's a
No.
situation like
Trey's an
that.
adult. Trey's an adult though, and the thing is,
The
you
same
can.
age as August. I seen it.
He's about the same age. I'm about to look it up because I'm pretty
Yeah.
certain that they're the same age.
I'm just saying,
So
bro.
Yep. He's 27.
I'm just saying.
I'm about to.
He's 27.
So yeah, I'm gonna share my screen real quick so everybody who is curious can see who the hell this damn kid is.
And Trey is cute.
That's a grown ass man, dog.
Trey is cute.
Are y'all able to see that?
Yeah.
Apparently,
We see
that's from Will's
First wife.
first marriage.
You better be
Yeah,
careful.
so-
Izzy, goddamn Will gonna hop on your ass. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't mind that either, though.
I mean, I'm of age. I'm 31. So, what's happening, Will? What's happening?
Jesus Christ. Hey, but real quick, I did want to kind of add some definitions because I feel as though words mean things, you know what I'm saying? And so if we're going to have a conversation, I think it's important to kind of, you know what I'm saying, hey, shout out to Lil Nas for telling me to do my research. I just did it live. You know what I'm saying? But here's some research for y'all asses then. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to look at the definition of the term predator. You know what I'm saying? So the first definition is talking about an organism. But I'll just read that. An organism that primarily obtains food by the killing and consuming of other organisms. An organism that lives by predation or predation, one of them.
Predation.
Okay. One who injures or exploits others for personal gain or profit. Keep that one in mind. I mean, that kind of sounds like low key what
Miss Jada did.
Yeah,
Well,
that kind of.
Look up sexual predator, the one right below it, because that's the one really.
Yeah, let's define that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's
okay,
really
but
what
real
we're
quick.
talking about here.
Yeah, but real quick, I also wanted to look up another term, manipulate. Oh shit, I'm setting my phone off. My bad, Google. Damn. Definition of manipulate: to treat or operate with, or as if with the hands or by mechanical means, especially in a skillful manner. To manage or utilize skillfully. That's interesting. To control or play upon by artful, unfair, or insidious means, especially to one's own advantage. That sounds familiar. To change by artful or unfair means as to serve one's purpose. So this is more so referring to a change or a control by artful, unfair, or insidious manners, whereas predator is one who injures or exploits others for personal gain or profit. So I'm gonna bring up sexual predator. Let's search that. You know what I'm saying, so we can see what Izzy was talking about. Hopefully, Merriam-Webster got that. Definition of sexual predator: a person who has committed a sexually violent offense, and especially one who is likely to commit more sexual offenses. I don't think she was violent, but I do think that.
Hey, bro, I think you get some feedback, man.
You are.
Feedback. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah,
hear
we
me
can.
now?
Good.
Okay, yeah, it's probably that tab. Yeah, I'm a little IT savvy. So, but I do think that, I'm saying, the definition that said one who injures or exploits, I would say she's one who exploits others for personal gain, not the profit part, but for personal gain. Because if you look at that interview that she just did with Will, the Red Table Talk, Um, she said that she has like almost like a spirit. I'm paraphrasing, but she basically said like she has a spirit where she naturally is attracted to people who need fixing. You know what I'm saying, or healing, or whatever you want to call it. And so I think if that's the angle that you're taking in order to fix something within yourself, because she also said like that's kind of how she was handling her own like childhood trauma, and I'm saying shit like that. And we know that she struggled with happiness, and I'm saying for years within her marriage, within, and I'm saying her separation from Tupac and all of that shit. And I'm saying, so is there like a almost like a underlying exploitation about Jada,
Yes.
and is that in play here when it comes to August Alsina, being as though he was sick from the first time they met? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's probably what attracted her to keeping him around. You know what I'm saying? And then it escalated beyond that to this type of love, or entanglement, or whatever you want to call it. And now she's back with Will. He's clearly affected deeply by it, and now he's speaking up about it all these years later. So clearly he was impacted by the whole situation.
So another thing she said in that interview, and she admitted to, like, she felt like she wanted to, like, a project, and I guess she has shown kind of growth from there in her later years. Maybe that's why she left him. But she said she also wanted to feel wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And what better way than to feel wanted than by a broken person? Because usually they are
Mm.
looking for someone to show support. And if they feel like their healing is attached to you, then you're wanted.
Right. And they
And
may even feel as though they may need to do certain things to make you happy in return, as a form of saying thank you or appreciation or gratitude or whatever. Which, I mean, and I think that's kind of what Larry was kind of speaking about. Because, and I'm not trying to all lives matter this, but I mean there is a stark difference between if this were a 44-year-old man that we were talking about, and a 23-year-old girl or woman, but most people would call her a 23-year-old girl, and all things were the same. I'm saying this girl is sick, and hurting emotionally, mentally, going through different things, and she befriends a celebrity's daughter, and now the father is coming around, and he's trying to help her heal, and next thing you know, they end up fucking. People gonna be like, "Yo, you are a creep, you a perv, you a predator,
All
you was
the
preying on
above.
that girl,
All the
all that."
above. So let's
You know what
not
I'm
cut
saying?
that short. Let's not cut it short.
yeah, well, that's also how, in a kind of a larger, broader conversation, when we talk about sexual violence against men, how a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times it's not taken seriously, and a lot of times men making jokes about being with older women versus,
Mm-hmm.
we've just started to kind of see a shift of women saying, okay, wow, a woman would, he's a little too old for her at a certain extent. Because you got to think about it. In our grandparents' age, you've been a 23-year-old woman with a 33-year-old man. It was like, okay, if you're trying to be a wife and start a life, this man is hopefully established in his career, has money, can take
Mm-hmm.
care of you. Like, it wasn't no big thing to be with somebody 8 to 10 years older than you. It wasn't like the worst thing in the world. But now, as we, start to extend childhood into those early 20s, it seems like, we've somewhat maintained it for women, not as much as men. Because we I haven't heard nobody use boy with August, just kind of maybe young man or man, where, I see a lot of,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm kind of like women, we got to hold it even. We can't 1 minute, we want to make 23-year-old women, under,
Girl.
they don't know and they're not emotionally developed, but 23-year-old boys are on this spectrum of, oh, he knew he was trying to be this, he was trying to be that. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, maybe this is that other piece of not being emotionally developed. As far as
Mm-hmm.
Jada, one thing I noticed that she talks a lot about her marriage with Will is like they have grown to be partners in this independence. And while I think that is great to some extent, there are times where you may not feel wanted. And I think a lot of women struggle with this in relationships, and why sometimes we get in the relationships we get into is because, as much as women say like, oh, I don't want everything on me, like, this and that. So many women put being feeling wanted into being able to do something for a man. So when you're dating a man where he doesn't need you to do anything to fulfill him to an extent, you're like, well, why do you want me here? Especially if you have this spirit of healing and fixing and fixing. If you're dating a man that don't need you to fix him, it's like, well, what do I do? Like, what is my purpose in this relationship? I don't feel wanted. I don't know what I do here. And I feel like Jada talks a lot about in her career, like how she changed a lot of stuff for Will, how she put her career on hold and all these other things. And then when they move to this certain piece in their marriage where they are now, I think she just didn't know what to do. She's like, I'm dating this great man, but he doesn't need me. Like, from what we can see, he's not broken, or if he is, he's not putting that weight on Jada to fix it.
Right. So I personally think people like Jada are dangerous. They're dangerous. They're dangerous to themselves and to the people around them.
And society. Let's call it what it is. Let's not shortcut this shit. Don't play it safe in this fucking podcast. Because goddamn,
I'm not playing it safe.
Izzy, you a fucking regular now. Act like a motherfucking regular.
I'm not playing it safe.
Shit, goddamn, you would have been on his ass. Let's get on her, goddamn. Get on her.
No. I'm about to get on her. I'm about to get on her. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I try to hold everybody accountable. So the only reason why I'm on the fence of calling her a predator is simply because when I think of predator, I think of someone who's intentionally doing those things. And so that's literally the only little bit of line that's preventing me from calling her that. And the reason why I say that is because intent matters, but it's not inexcusable. You see what I'm saying? So people like Jada who want to fix everybody, who want to fix things, even though they have no qualifications to do so, those are the type of people that are going around, making suggestions to people for things that they never asked for. Like, how you had that one friend and, you're working out and they're just like, why don't you just do this? Right. And to the outside ear, it seems like they're giving you advice, but it's actually detrimental to you because maybe you're anorexic. And now that one comment that is made to you is triggering your anorexia. That's what Jada is. She's that person that wants to insert herself to be helpful, but it ends up being very dangerous to that person. And a person like August Alsina, he does not need someone who does not understand boundaries and appropriateness. Jada does not have that. And from what I can understand with her relationship between her and Will, she never had that. And I'm about to take it back another history lesson. Jada and Will met while Will was still married. That's how they started dating. And so you take a person like that, and then also Jada has been sexually assaulted when she was younger. She was molested and sexually assaulted. She never healed from that properly. She's even said that on Red Table Talk multiple times. And Tupac was that person for her that kind of helped her through that. So that's why she'll never get over Tupac. But then now she feels like that she's healed, even though she's not, because there's a lot of things that she still hasn't dealt with. She wants to be somebody else's Tupac, but it's not for the sake of that person. It's for the sake of her feeling like a savior. And people with savior complexes are terrible and detrimental to the world because no matter what you try to do, you can't fix or save everybody, especially if you're not qualified to do so. You're not a therapist. And so that's one of the reasons why I came to the conclusion that Jada's not a good person. And I don't know if she knows how to be a good person because her selfishness has taken over because she wants to feel good. So damn everybody else and damn whatever else she's doing that's maybe fucking other people up because she wants to feel good.
I see. Okay. And my point with that, this is my point with that, because now this is where I kind of have a strife with August, because if August was able to understand that and know that and take it for what it was, you know what I'm saying? First off, we probably wouldn't even be talking about it right now. That's first. And second all, he would have understood that she's in my life temporarily. I'm gonna take it for what it is, and I'm not going to attach any feelings to it. But is it hard for men to be able to do that once when you understand? Because I want to go back I want to go back to this comment. I think Shannon said, hold on, let me go back. Let me go back. All right, so this is what Shannon said. So all men who hit it and are ghosts are predators. You know what I'm saying? That's technically what Jada just did. Even though it was a lot of time in between it, she was able to detach herself when the moment was right for her to do that and not speak
Bruh.
to him over the same amount of time. But I disagree with this. This is why I pulled it up.
Yeah.
Because if there's an agreement between everybody that I'm just gonna hit it and I'm gonna be out, and then I might hit you up when I get back, and you like, all right, cool, then goddamn, that's not predatory because everybody know what the fuck going on above the table. Now niggas doing that shit just to get some shit and be out. Now I don't. That might be a
Now,
little bit borderline.
I'm
So,
glad you brought that up,
oh, go
only
ahead.
because that goes into another conversation we have a lot when we talk about casual relationships, and a lot of time the woman being on the other end, like, you know what it is, in this sense of accountability of, okay, you and somebody might have had an agreement like we're just going to be this, but you can kind of tell when somebody is in a different space,
Mm.
and you continuing to mess with them knowing that right now there's a power imbalance and clearly this person wants this and they are doing these things to get that from you, and you are willingly taking them.
So is that person addressing that power imbalance? Because if you don't address it, and we initially went to the agreement agreeing that this is what it is, and you don't say, hey, I think we need to cool it down because I think it's starting to feel a little bit more than that. If you don't say that shit, then it don't count. I can't read your mind, so shit, we still doing this shit. I think everything good. Then you can't
But
go and say,
but that
So, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
sorry. But the Jada Will August thing gets tricky because again, this is not an instance of like Jada was at a Hollywood party, met August, they started like
or
there
is
this
it?
other there's this other familiar relationship that they have of comfort and safety, or at least that he probably felt. So I think that's where the entanglement part comes in. There's this relationship didn't seem like there's a clear boundary. Like, we just fucking, we loving on each other. Like, Jada being her free spirit bag, like, we're loving on
Yeah.
each other and we're spiritually connecting. But
Yeah, yeah.
when
Niobe
you
from the
start,
Matrix. Niobe.
yeah. When
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
start getting into that bag, and I can see where somebody like him who is looking for all these different dynamics in relationship and love and stability, feeling like I've met the love of my life, and if I don't love anybody anymore, I can live, because this might have been the most love he's felt in his whole life
But
But it
in
bro,
wasn't
so many
even
different
genuine.
directions.
But
but
it
it,
Yeah,
wasn't genuine.
it wasn't.
but
It
in
was
his heart,
predatory love. It was predatory love.
yeah.
Yeah. I
But
This
mean,
that's
one
a lot
thing.
of predators get people like that because they've never had that sense of security. And at some point in time, they gave that to him. And now, granted, I think he realized it to a little bit to an extent now, but not all the way. He's still figuring it out.
Yeah, he ain't fit because the thing is, my thing is, okay, so you might hear this a lot when something like this happened to women. You'll hear people say, well, why is she saying something now? You know what I'm saying? And then the question comes up, well, why is he saying something now? Because as a man, I feel like as a man, I feel like, okay, I understand that he felt taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? I could take that. I could understand that. But we are talking about Miss Jada, Will and Jada. You know what I'm saying? They've been in songs. This ain't no everyday woman that you met that say she got a husband and you happen to not see the nigga. You actually know the nigga. Big Pop's been in the nigga crib. You know what I'm saying? This is Will and Jada. You knew what the fuck that was before you got into it that she was married. Oh, what you thought she was gonna leave Will Smith, nigga?
Well, they were separated.
So,
Remember, Jada
yeah,
did
yeah,
say they were separated.
that's what I wanted to get
Okay,
into right there.
separated, but Will Smith though. Will
Nah,
Listen,
hold on, bro. Hold on, because I've been listening for a second. So I wanted that's exactly what I wanted to bring up next. You know what I'm saying, because I think a lot of people are looking at all of these different things, but not the full story. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
So Jada and August, you know what I'm saying, they had known each other for quite some time. You know what I'm saying, and it was like a friendship thing. He was basically like part of the family. Will embraced him. You know what I'm saying? He was friends with Jaden. You know what I'm saying? Jada was, helping him heal or whatever. That entanglement didn't start until Will and Jada split. And if you watch the Red Table Talk, it wasn't like a mutual thing. It wasn't because of, know what I'm saying, anything that Will did, Will was tired of Jada's shit. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't, he said she needed to figure out whatever the fuck it was that she needed in order to be happy. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, make sure you watch that shit on the Red Table Talk. He said, know what I'm saying, I was just over you. And even Jada said it. She said, you was over me. You was done with me. And they both thought that was going to be the end. You know what I'm saying? And so in that moment, Jada, I feel as though, was hurting, sad, lonely, wanted to feel wanted to feel loved because her husband got tired of her shit. So what did she do? She turned to August, who was already showing a sense of vulnerability to her. Now they get involved in this entanglement. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the part where I think a lot of people aren't connecting the dots. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just, this shit just happened coincidentally. Nah, like she was like, Will was over her shit. She turned to August. They got into this entanglement. Then shit got real. I guess her and Will started to rekindle the flame. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even doubt, and again, I'm speculating here, but I don't doubt that a conversation was had to make August believe that the shit was about to be done, and him and her might have an opportunity
from Jada's perspective.
To be serious or whatever. But then Will and Jada ended up working it out or whatever. And August was like, fuck this, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So he exited stage left. So a lot of people like, oh, he knew what it was. No, what it was that her and Will were broken up. It wasn't that they were just in an open relationship. No, they both said in the Red Table Talk that they both thought shit was about to be done. So I think that right there is the moment where it turned from just two consenting adults just kind of, having fun to her using her pain and hurt and turning to somebody. And it might have even been out of spite. You know what I'm saying? Because Will also, if you look at the interview again, Will also said that he on some get back shit. You know what I'm saying? And apparently he already did, or, whatever.
He did.
And he said like, nah, it was like on some get back shit. She tried to make it seem like it wasn't. He was like, nah, it was. You know what I'm saying? So clearly the shit hurt Will. She probably did it out of spite, and this is me speculating, but I'm just using my context clues. She probably did that shit out of spite. Like, you know what? Yeah. Since you don't want me, I'm gonna fuck this motherfucker right here that you've been taking all these pics with. You know what I'm saying? That you've been taking under your arm, that you've been showing love to, that done been in our crib. I'm gonna fuck him since you don't want me. And so what Will did was like, all right, well, I got something for that ass.
I got something for that ass.
So both of them, got at each other.
Yeah.
They got over that shit.
Little nigga.
She shifted her attention back to Will and vice versa. And August, he got hurt and he exited stage left. That's how I feel it went.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate, bro. That's pretty accurate.
And Will also mentions that he kind of told her, like, listen, you probably shouldn't go that route. Like, not even you can't fuck no other nigga, but you might not want to fuck that little crazy nigga right
now. I think that's what women get it twisted, because when the guy, you know what I'm saying, you think a guy just saying some shit because, he try to get on your nerves, or he just saying some shit just to be saying some shit. Niggas know when the right and wrong nigga to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you gonna do it, you shouldn't do that shit with that nigga.
Not with him. Not with him.
It had to be spite built. Like, if you doing it out of spite, you gonna go against, be like, no, oh, you don't want me to do that? Fuck it. That's the right motherfucker to do it with then.
See, for me, I kind of see it differently. I can't say whether or not she did it out of spite, but I can say she did it out of convenience.
Oh, yeah.
Because she didn't have to go nowhere to go get the dick. The dick was already at her house. It was basically like... It was like Uber Eats, but with dick. So, he was already there.
Bruh. Hey, get the fuck out of here.
Hey, that's not good. We might need to patent that. Hey, we need to edit this shit. Edit that part right there.
But that's where that power dynamic comes back in, because you got to remember, Jada and Will aren't these regular people. They are. It's like how we talk about Beyonce and Jay-Z. Like, people be like, well, who's she gonna fuck after Jay-Z? Like, it can only be LeBron. And I think with Jada, it's like, okay, maybe they didn't want the whole world to know they were separated, but this dude is close enough. He's not too famous where we're not more powerful than him that people will believe him. or if I don't want him to talk, I can kind of stop his bag.
Yeah, you can, and that's what I'm saying. That's
You
where
know,
Augie. That's where Augie
so
fucked up. That's where Augie fucked up. Because you
so it's
said,
like if I'm gonna fuck another nigga, then hey, might as well be him. And Jada like herself a bad boy. Y'all gotta remember, like Jada. Jada did one interview one time. She said before she said Will saved her life, kind of, because she said she was being promiscuous, she was wilding out, she was with all the rough niggas, like, and he was so different. So, but Jada like herself a little rat tat tat
Yeah.
in there,
so
and that's
real
what
thing.
August is, or that's what August was prior to some of his healing. And Young, and she was having a Tupac flashback. Shit, she was like, "What? This the
Yeah.
closest I'm gonna get."
Hey, you know something that's interesting about this situation. I see a lot of ladies, even in the comments. I can't post some of them for some reason from Facebook, but I could see the ones on YouTube as well. But I feel like a lot of people are so offended at the fact that we have the audacity to question if Jada is potentially a predator.
Who said
And
that?
this is it's
A lot
in
of
the
people.
comments. It's in the comments, but
All right, man,
here's the reason why I
Definitely
think so many people are getting a little touchy about this, because let me think of how to word this. Okay, Jada, generally speaking, she's like a whistleblower on a lot of men's bullshit, right? You know what I'm saying? She calls a lot of men out, and oftentimes when she's doing it, and I don't keep up with everything, but oftentimes, like from the clips I've seen, she's justified in a lot of shit that she's saying. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of women that's like, yo, hey, Jada on her shit. She calling these motherfuckers out. I love how she using her platform. Hold these dudes accountable. Men ain't shit. But now that she done got into some shit, you know what I'm saying? And I guarantee I promise you, it will be a different tune being saying if this was a man coming to the Red Table Talk doing it like in the same position as Jada. But now that we got Jada, know what I'm saying, involved in some messy shit where she potentially doing some manipulation, where she potentially, know what I'm saying, using and abusing the motherfucker and all that. Now all of a sudden it's, oh, he was grown, he knew what he was doing. Know what I'm saying? She ain't no predator. Men do it all the time. I just seen that in the comments just a second ago. No,
Yeah.
Lanaja actually said that. She wanted to say her name. Know what I'm saying? So it's like, is it really that Jada is in this case justified for her actions and she's innocent? Or is it Jada has done so much work that is credible and now we don't want to hold her accountable because we fear that the work that she's done to hold men accountable is going to be debunked,
invalidated,
or invalidated, loses credibility, all that shit. And I feel like one thing that I'm a big on, I want everybody to listen to this and really digest this. Two things can be true simultaneously.
Facts.
Two things can be true at the same damn time. So Jada could have done some great work, and I'm saying it could have held people accountable and all that shit. And Jada can also fuck up herself because she's still a human being. And then I feel like in this case, call it what you want, feel how you feel, Jada fucked up.
So I'm gonna just say this because this whole August Jada thing happened 4 years ago, right? This is 4 years in the past. And I want to put some timelines around some things so that people can kind of get some understanding of maybe there was some growth that happened on both ends. Do I still think Jada is a bad person? Yes. Do I think she's working on being less of a bad person? Yes.
I did not expect you to say yes.
I mean, I had a whole conversation about how
I'm proud of you.
I broke it down to how toxic she and detrimental she is to someone's well-being. So yeah, that was me basically saying she was a bad person. But so this whole situation with August, where they ended whatever they were doing, ended 2 years ago, which was a little bit right before Red Table Talk came into existence. So it's very possible that Jada did some work on herself, realized where she fucked up, and decided that, you know what, I'm going to do some healing, and I want my healing to be done through the proper channels where maybe we can have people come on and talk about the things that they've been working on. I can talk about the things that I worked on as a person. And I don't think anyone is above redemption except for like, a certain amount of things that people do to people, especially if they continue to do it, if there's a pattern of behavior. One of the reasons why I think a lot of people don't want to hold Jada accountable for this is because overall, Jada has not done a whole lot of trash things. But the people that she brings on the show that she's forcing accountability on have done a plethora of trash things. And so I think that folks feel like if they say that Jada's trash, and that means that she's always been trash. But that's not necessarily the case. I feel like everybody can change. Everybody has the opportunity to be untrash, but we all have the opportunity to be trash. If we don't work on those things that make us garbage human beings, then we're gonna just stay trash. So this is her opportunity for her to do some more work. I think that had she came on the red table and really laid out everything, it would have been better than her coming on and just saying some roundabout stuff about August and then dapping her husband up and then talk about bad marriage for life and then laughing. Because that shit, if I was August, I'll wet that whole house up.
Bro, that shit was wild.
Hey, I'm gonna say this real quick, and we're gonna take our little hour break, bro. So we gotta debunk a little. We gotta sit back and take a sip, bro. All I'm gonna say before we go to the hour mark, man. Goddamn, they are both celebrities. They have a sense of power that we have no ideal about, that we can't fathom. Even August Alsina can't fathom the sense of power that they have, because Will shut his whole shit down, I feel like, in an instant. So with that being said, you got to remember that we don't know that Jada ain't trash for real. You know what I'm saying? It might be things she has the power to cover up that we'll never know about. Things that may have leaked out. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know her personally, which is why I say we have to be able to separate that person's works from who that person truly is. Now, she had a fucked up moment, and I don't know her that well. I ain't even gonna say I follow her the most. I just know she's Jada Pinkett Smith, Will and Jada. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, she's human. I respect that she had the umph to even come on and say anything about it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? But she handled it the way a person in her situation should have handled it. And her partner, Will, even though he didn't like that shit, he did what he was supposed to do as her partner, bro. He rolled that shit out like he was supposed to fucking do. He played his part even though she fucked up. And she fucked up big. And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. August shouldn't have said shit. Because you losing, it's a lose-lose situation for you, bro. You know that she is with you because she mad at Will. But once Will try to figure it out, obviously where you know where she going, you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. Even if it wasn't Will, it was never going to be August.
Right.
And I think that's the part that August probably wasn't prepared for.
Right.
You know, and I saw somebody on the comment say that we don't know enough to say that Jada is trash. I'm saying in this particular situation, the way she handled the whole August Alsina thing, it's either you're gonna talk about it or you're not going to talk about it. And because she talked about it and what little she did say, and how she treated this man's feelings that she knows is still dealing with mental illness and still dealing with like drug addiction and still dealing with grief, was trash. We can be honest about that shit. That's not, if you want to put yourself in the position of somebody who wants to help people heal, that is not the fucking way. And we can be honest about that shit. We have to be honest about that shit.
Yeah, that's
even psychologists and psychiatrists know that there's a way that you handle people, especially people that are fragile of mind and body and spirit.
Or not by fuck.
I mean, that part, we already addressed that, but I'm saying that we know for a fact that the way she handled him in this particular situation, that man was on a damn show, voice cracking, talking about he could end his life today and he would be happy. That is a lot of heavy, intense emotions. Meanwhile, you dapping your nigga up talking about we was entangled. That's not a delicate situation. You didn't handle him delicately. We have to be honest about that shit.
So I think and I think D kind of he was talking about the point earlier, like if it's a man in this situation, I think often in society men get away with a lot. And oftentimes, when it comes to onus and responsibility and consequences, women get the brunt of it. So sometimes when we get in these situations, like we laugh about, me, you, D, we talk about you insecure all the time, and the people reaction to Issa cheating, and how there was all this second look at where she was at emotionally when she did it, and same thing with Jada, like where she at emotionally. This is why. Um, I think some of it is just that feeling of so many other times we don't get a chance to not get the brunt of consequence. So if there's a situation where, we can look into an emotion and be like, oh, well, this is why sometimes that accountability part is shifted to the side, like, oh, well, it's okay because she felt. And yeah, women are allowed to feel, but you feeling something isn't an excuse for you to act a certain way. Because men feel too, even though you don't admit it. And a lot of y'all actions come from emotions that y'all swear y'all don't have. And we don't think those actions are okay. As far as one thing I didn't like, he was like, oh, he should have just kept it a buck. He should have just been quiet. Yo, we live in a society now where plenty of women, plenty of groupies, whatever you want to call them, make money off of spreading their business. I
Yep.
don't think he talked about Jada in an ill light. I don't think he said anything nasty about her. The interviewer asked him a very specific question about a person he dealt with that might have influenced his work. As an artist, the people you fuck influence your work in some way, shape, or form. He didn't say nothing nasty about. He said about how he felt love. He didn't even say that he necessarily hurt her, even though we can see he was hurt by just talking about it. So when people was like, oh, he did it wrong, he should have just shut up, he ain't play his role. If that's the case, then all these women out here who be on it's Lipstick Alley running their mouth need to shut their mouth and play their role. Because a lot of
Point
times
blank.
they been knew their role to play and what their situation was and who they were. And the minute they get a chance or when they don't want to fuck with them no more, they be out here running their mouth real quick. So again, it's different if his intent was ill, if he was like spreading some new pictures of Jada or something crazy like that, then I'd be like, nah. But he got asked a very specific question and he gave a very specific answer. And he didn't spread Jada business. He told his business. And again, if you don't want your business spread, then you gotta be mindful about who you spread your legs to.
Hey, that's
DD,
real. So real quick, I just want to take a quick break just to thank everybody that's still tuned in with us, everybody that joined in. We get into the nitty gritty, you know what I'm saying, with this situation with August Alsina, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Will Smith. Definitely appreciate all the commentary. I am reading. I'm going to get into some of these comments. Hey, Lanaja in these comments going ham. Brian, my dog Jaren. It's a whole lot of shit being said right now. So we definitely going to get into some of these comments. For some reason, I can't post y'all comments that's commenting on my Facebook to the live stream so everybody can see it. But Lanaja over here writing essays, and I'm reading all that shit. So definitely appreciate each and everybody and everybody that's tuned in on YouTube as well. We got Steph in the building, Shannon, well, both Shannons. Both of them got the same last name too. That's crazy. Aaron in the building. Carrie, my dog Teddy, literally everybody that's tuned in. We really, really appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all got something to drink right now. Comment below what you drinking on. If you ain't drinking, you ain't shit. Look at Izzy. Look at Izzy. Izzy like, oh shit.
Listen, I hold myself accountable. I ain't shit.
Izzy, good job, Izzy. I fuck with you, Izzy. Izzy, fuck that. Izzy, anybody say anything to you, you come tell them to talk to me, motherfucker. I fuck with you, Izzy. And Didi, I just want to let you know your last spill was impeccable. You was speaking on some shit. You ever watch battle rap, like when them niggas say some fire ass shit and they just grab a nigga by the shirt? If I was there with you, I'd goddamn pull your motherfucking hair out. I'd be like, motherfucker, you better talk that shit. You better talk that shit. You better talk that shit. Goddamn, you talking that shit. Hey, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna call you DD as well. So I think that's dope. DD, big name DD. I just want to let you know you need to become a regular. Talk to Izzy, ask her what she did to make it happen. We'll make it happen.
I don't know. I just signed up to be on the show a couple of times, but I did want to say one thing though, and this is my moment to demonstrate how I had to check my own internal bias with this situation. Because when I first saw the video, I was just like, why the fuck is he talking? He really on here crying like a bitch. Like, I really thought that. And because I hold myself accountable, I hold myself accountable more than I hold everybody else, believe it or not. I was just like, August should have never said nothing. But then I thought about it. I was like, okay, wait. There is power when you speak truth in your situations, when you speak truth to your feelings, when you speak truth to your desires. And this was probably a situation where he needed to call it what it was. Like, I love Iyanla Vanzant because sometimes she say some real shit, even though, her methods be questionable, but she say some real shit. She says you have to speak on your issues in order to actually address them. You have to admit that you have a problem. You have to admit when something happened. And I think for August, it was necessary for him to say that so that he could leave it right there. And now he can actually move on. And somebody else said that in the comments that he said it so that he could continue to heal because it was blocking his healing. And for me, when I started thinking about that, I started thinking about, okay, what would I do in order to heal? And I was like, you know what? I can't put myself in his shoes because I've gone to therapy. I've dealt with my demons. I know exactly how I'm going to react to a lot of things on a regular basis. So I can't expect that the way I would react would be how he would react. August still has a lot of work to do on himself. He still has a lot of healing to do. So, and I think a lot of people were not giving him grace, and they were not giving him understanding because this man still has a lot of demons that he's working through. And then he has to wake up and take care of his sister's children, who just recently died of cancer. And so he never really had the opportunity to, number one, fully grieve his brother. Then he met Jada. Then he was dealing with her. Then his sister passed away. And then I think somebody else in his life passed away. And now he's taking care of children. So
And
on
he
top of
had
that,
sickness as well, right?
yeah, he did. And then on top of that, he's dealing with drug addiction.
Mm-hmm.
I want
So this
a Katrina survivor. Like, I think
he was a Katrina survivor. Yeah. He lost, his family lost the house. Like, this man has been through a lot in 27 years. And he said in a lot of his music, because I actually am an August Alsina fan. I do actually listen to his music. But a couple of times he's talked about, like, wanting to take his life because of all the things that he had been through and how, drugs have been a release. And so me knowing all that and for me to go and say, oh, he was trash for talking, like, I had to check my trashness at that point. I was like, yo, is you wilding? Because that shit was not okay to do. It was not okay to say. So that's when I started really thinking about everything that was happening. And I was like, you know what? That's when I came to the conclusion that I don't think Jada is really that good of a person. Like, I think she's working on it. I think she's growing, but based off of what we've been hearing from Will and what we know happened with August, a lot of shit transpired in 4 years that really fucked up two people. Will and August. We have to admit that.
Yeah, we have. That's very important. And my thing is, I'm gonna pose a question in a second, but I was just looking at the comments again, and shout out to Carrie, man. I see you out here, Carrie. I was reading your question, and I think because we often see the dynamic, and Izzy, you said something very key. You had to check your own biases, and as women and black women, y'all have a lot of biases against black men that I don't think y'all even see a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Because in this instance, August is the victim, and Jada is the quote unquote predator. You call her whatever you want to do in this instance. I'm not saying this is what she do on a regular. I'm just saying in this instance, she's a predator. With that being said, it's hard for women to see that Jada's being predatory because maybe some of them feel like it's a victory that she was able to do a man like that.
City Girls up by 10.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of times, like, that's why I appreciate y'all so much because y'all are acknowledging that she has, that she was wrong in this situation. And when I say hold women accountable, I don't want anybody to think that I'm against black women or not because I love our beautiful sisters, man. I do, I truly do. Anybody who knows me know that I do. But at the same time, if y'all are gonna hold guys accountable, we got to be able to remove that gender specificness of when the same thing happens to a guy and we want to disregard it in such a fast manner.
Hey,
I
oh, go ahead, Tashina. You respond to that, and then I want to address some of the comments. So go ahead.
I agree to an extent, but I think we also have to remember it's only really recent that accountability in predator kind of situations, men are being held accountable. Like, think about how long it took us to get R. Kelly out of here. So I think sometimes the frustration that women are showing, especially the ones where we see them have these kind of more progressive views about these predatory situations, calling people out, but when they see an organized seen a situation, they kind of like, the frustration is now all of a sudden men get it when they're in the situation. Now y'all understand layers and y'all want to call us out, but when another situation like this come around, the woman is in it, y'all will be back on the fence about, and not you two personally, but in general, now all of a sudden men don't get it. It's like you only try to get it when you can throw it in our face, but not actually to make progress and move forward. And
Yeah.
that's where the frustration comes. Just like when we talk about sexual assault, and then the man will try to be a smartass and be like, "Oh, y'all ain't talking about this," and it's like, actually, the few women that do try to talk about it bring it up, but you call them bitches and tell them to shut up, and you call them ugly and stop being haters. You just mad because this and this, or they say stuff like, "Man, I wish it was a teacher my age in school who, when I was in school, who wanted to fuck me," or something like that. So sometimes in some cases, the reluctancy to bring the woman to light isn't that they don't think she's wrong, is that the men who are calling her out is not because y'all really sincere about it. Y'all just want to throw
Right.
something in our face.
I got you.
And
I
so,
understand that. That's a very great point, and I appreciate that point because guys who do that, I don't condone at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm about everybody being accountable. So that's why, I'm quick to say, well, maybe I still think that in some ways August was out of line for him saying anything in general. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I understand that Jada has some predatory actions, and I think that everybody should be accountable all the time. We shouldn't try to say, okay, well, because y'all don't get the point, that we gonna hold back from saying what it is, calling a spade
mhm.
a spade. We gonna hold back. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that because then that's wrong on everybody's point. So we can't general. I think there should be two general sections because I don't think the general guys that do what you saying, DD, the general guys who do that is different from the demographic of guys that I deal with. You see what I'm saying? And I go off of the general guys that I deal with and how I feel like they will handle situations. So I know it's guys that do general A, you know what I'm saying? But general B is what I'm fucking with and what I'm trying to really make the true general bubble. You see what I'm saying?
hmm So I just wanted to respond to that, but kind of echoing what Larry just said, because though that like don't get me wrong, I understand exactly what you're saying and where you're coming from. I can understand how that could be frustrating and all of that. Uh, but with all that being said, it's still no excuse, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a scapegoat, a cop out, because anybody that truly is passionate about any of these issues is no matter what, they're going to hold people accountable across the board. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? It goes back to what I was saying before. Two things can be true at the exact same time. You know what I'm saying? In this particular instance, Jada could have fucked up, but also at the exact same time, a lot of men ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of men are using this particular instance to try to get a jab in at women or invalidate, you know what I'm saying, all the shit that y'all say towards us. You know what I'm saying? And them motherfuckers are trash. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm really big and passionate about, is holding men accountable for our part, because that's ultimately what I can affect. You know what I'm saying? I can affect other black men because I can address them, I can relate to them, I am them. You know what I'm saying? So I think that even while doing that, even while being able to acknowledge that there is still a ton of work to be done on black men's part, that still doesn't change the fact that if black women are out here caping for Jada in this particular situation, you're wrong. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be upset that, you know what I'm saying, racism exists, but if I go out and shoot 10 white people, I'm still fucking wrong. Know what I'm saying? So it's like two things could be true and they could be understandable, but that doesn't mean that we necessarily have to condone them. But real quick, I wanted to get into some of these comments because Lanaja and Brian, they still going at it right now. They just it seems like y'all don't understand why we are saying that Jada is fucked up in this situation. Lanaja says it makes no sense to keep calling this woman trash because her mom was too strung out. Dad, who ex-boyfriend died. Her and Will have been on the rocks for years, but that don't matter, huh? Ha ha. I ain't mean to say the ha ha like that.
May I address that? May I address that?
Hold on. I'm gonna read a couple of them because she had a few, and then I'm gonna go in and then you can follow up for me.
Gotcha.
She also said, so how is Jada trash in a situation when she has a past too? What are we talking about? And Brian said, trash. What if it was a random situation? Would they be trash or a hookup? Okay, yeah, I think that's the gist of what y'all saying. So let me I'm gonna try to explain it in like 30 seconds. In this case, Jada is trash. She fucked up. In this case, now I'm not calling Jada as a whole trash. I'm saying in this case she fucked up. The reason I'm saying that is she literally used a person that was close to her, that was dependent on her for emotional support, who she built a bond with based on his trauma. You know what I'm saying? Because initially when they first met, and she said this, go back, and a lot of y'all, I don't think y'all actually watched the Red Table Talk. So please go back and watch the Red Table Talk. But she literally said that when she met him, like she wanted to help heal him because he was going through a lot of shit. She said when they first met, when he first started coming around the family, he was sick. That was like one of the first things she even said about August in the Red Table interview. So go back and watch it. So she knew that he was in a vulnerable position. She bonded with him, making it seem as though it was just on some healing shit. Then when her and Will broke up because Will got tired of her shit, again, and this is what she said in the Red Table Talk, that's when she decided to go and be involved with August. This wasn't just two adults, you know what I'm saying, consented to have sex. No, he was already there, like in a vulnerable state as friends. And then when things got sour between her and Will, she went to August knowing that he was vulnerable because she wanted to feel wanted. She wanted to feel appreciated because her husband was done with her. And this is also what they said in the interview. So it's not like we just pulling anything out our ass. We not trying to just victimize her or demonize her or whatever. Know what I'm saying? We are just literally calling it what it is based on literally what she said. And then not to mention, August was very emotional in his interview and all this and that. Jada really hopped on that Red Table and really didn't address too much of shit. All she said was we was in an entanglement and then made everything else about her and Will. And that's not even what everybody was concerned with. You know what I'm saying? So for those reasons, that's why we are saying in this instance, not saying overall she's a shitty, horrible person or we hate Jada. We're saying in this instance, what she did, the way she manipulated his emotions, the way that she used his vulnerability to satisfy her hurt is why he's trash. Or why she's trash. So that's all we saying. If y'all got any other questions or whatever, let us know.
Okay, so I want to address the comment of her having a mother that was strung out and all these other things. Like Dee said, two things can be true at the same time. So yes, she had a mother that probably wasn't there for her, that probably didn't protect her, probably didn't love her. And as a result, she has a lot of emotional trauma, which I actually addressed all of that before I even said that I don't believe she's a good person. But the fact that Jada is as old as she is, has as many resources as she does at her disposal, and Jada still is allowing those trauma bonds and those trauma events to dictate the fact that she's going to go find somebody else who's in situations where their parent had drug addiction, where they have a drug addiction, where they're sick, and she's going to use him and his body and his want and need of her to make herself feel better is trash. Period. You don't have to agree, but there's reasons why there's a code of ethics between psychologists, psychiatrists, counselors, and their patients. Because there is a power dynamic. There is also an issue where you are taking advantage of someone who's in an altered state of mind, and you're using that against them. There's also reasons why doctors and patients should not have sex. There's also reasons why teachers and students should not have sex. So this is a very similar situation. Although Jada is not a professional, she put herself in a professional's place. She chose to be that person for him, and she was underqualified to do so. And she took that man's feelings, wrapped them around who she was, the things that she was doing for him. She entangled them around who she was, what she was providing to him, and then had sex with him, and then dropped him like a bad habit. And this is somebody who has mental illness we're talking about here. We're not talking about a random person who was just like, oh, I'm just here to have sex, like Dee said. Like, if you had a cousin or a brother or a sister or anybody in your family that was dealing with a mental health professional and they had bipolar disorder, that mental health professional had sex with them and then left them, you would be ready to fight, and you would be suing. You would be calling all types of ethics boards. You would try to have them disbarred and have them fired and all this other stuff. But because it's Jada, we can't call her to the carpet. Come on now, we gotta call a thing a thing. Like, and she didn't even apologize for the role that she played in this. She did not take accountability. Had she said, "Not true," I promise y'all, had she came on Red Table Talk and she said, you know what, guys, I was in a bad state. I used that to my advantage. At the time, I didn't realize what I was doing to him. And I want to apologize to August because I may have damaged him beyond repair. And for that, I'm truly sorry. I'd have been like, you know what, girl? Yeah, I still support you, because although you did a trash thing, you took full accountability for it, and you are trying to at least make amends. She didn't do none of that shit. She sat there and she laughed. She laughed at the end with Will. And as a person who basically just said that, you know, they could throw themselves off a fucking bridge and they would feel love. And bitch, you laughed at the fact that he said that. That is very traumatic to somebody who already has mental illness.
She tried.
We're not about to brush this shit off. Like, we're not about to brush this shit off. That was a very deep thing to do to somebody, and we have to be honest. We have to be honest about what she did to August. Like, granted, I might still support the Smiths because, like, I think overall they're not bad people. But I feel like in this particular case, Jada is not a good person for how she handled this situation with him from this point on. Like, she did not handle that shit well at all.
I'm glad you brought that up about her not apologizing, because Jada will talk. Like, usually when Jada talks about her past, she's very open. You can see she has come to terms with it. She learned from that experience. I saw embarrassment in this Red Table Talk, and I get it. Like, you know, you and your husband got separated, but I mean, she shared that she used to be promiscuous, doing drugs, and there wasn't a sense of embarrassment. But for some reason, with this, there was this almost a sense of embarrassment of like, oh man,
because she knew she was wrong. Knew she was wrong. That was guilt. That wasn't embarrassment. What you misread as embarrassment was guilt, because she knew what the fuck she was doing, and she knew how she handled that shit was inappropriate.
So real quick, Lanaja just chimed back in with another. Hey, Lanaja, you going there with these paragraphs? She said, because now y'all are legit making up a whole scenario to match the point of y'all calling her trash, and that's out of control. She was not that man's therapist. She capitalized that part. She said,
but she said she wanted to be. She said she wanted to be his healer.
Right.
Those are her words.
She said, if you listen, she says she helped with the resources. And to be clear, the mission was complete. The intent when he came broken was to get that man help for his addiction, which she did. That man is not strung out anymore. She did her job. She did a damn good job. So how did she do a damn good job if this man sitting on a damn interview hurt
crying
like a motherfucker?
The issue is shit. This is the issue. She might have provided him a resource, but he also mentioned that he missed a few bags because of that relationship.
Right.
So I don't know if it was her cutting those bags, if it was his affiliation with her, but he did kind of mention that he had missed one or two things because of the relationship with her. And who's to say if it wasn't Will being like, he fucked my wife, now we good. What I will say is, I think she provided resources, and that's cool. We didn't know pussy was on the resource list.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
wasn't on
There
the
we go.
grocery list.
I don't.
And that's where things get hazy. Like, cool, you want
Yeah,
to help him get it together, that's great. But now you fucking this nigga. Now you know he ain't that stable because you helping him get the resources to get stable. And as someone older who has probably been in a similar mental state, you probably know that entangling yourself with him past a mentorship or resource to get help in a romantic way can be a little dangerous. I think what happened is, like you said, her and Will went through, they got back together, but then he probably started getting annoying, and she was like, me and my husband getting back together, and she kind of just deaded it, and she's probably embarrassed about how she deaded it. She's probably embarrassed that I was all up because let's be real, she was mad at her husband. Let's be real, when you mad at a nigga, you pillow talk. People pillow
right.
talk when they mad about their nigga, and she probably was in there pillow talking to him. Hell, she probably thought she might have slipped a couple of maybe we can do this, and she probably feels embarrassed for it, really thinking she's about to live her life with some 23-year-old boy or man or whatever,
Fantasy.
and yeah, man, and be with him, and now she looking back at it like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And that's why I think Will even gets a lot of his jokes off. Because you saw Will, he was kind of cool, calm, and collective. Like, yeah, tell him what you did. Didn't I tell you it was
Word.
gonna be
Yeah,
wrong?
right,
Like,
right.
he to me he didn't seem hurt. Like,
Yeah,
because he said he was over. He's like, we were separated. Like, I forgave her for it, but I already told her it was gonna bite her in the ass.
yeah, and that's my
So
thing. So real, my bad, bro. Real quick, and
mhm.
that's the thing. That's the thing. Who comment you said that was, bro?
That was Lanaja.
Lanaja. If Jada didn't involve sex with it, like if she provided him all those resources, got him the help, you know what I'm saying, and didn't involve sex with it, then maybe I could see your point. But
Right.
because he involved sex with it, that complicated it. What almost really made it an entanglement was that the fact she involved sex with it. So when you put that in the equation, that's what makes her trash. Is that she took advantage of him knowing what he was going through because she's probably been through similar things and noticed the hints, you know what I'm saying, to somebody being mentally unstable, and she took advantage of that. That's what makes her trash. You know what I'm saying? And she definitely is trash for that shit, and we can't overlook it. So
I just don't
So
understand how the rationale of her not being trash when we have examples in
yeah,
media in
yeah,
history
yeah,
where people have taken advantage of people that they were supposed to be caretaking.
right.
Like when CNAs have sex with the elderly that they're supposed to be taking care of, you can go to jail for that.
Yeah.
When doctors are having sex with the people with the patients they're supposed to be taking care of, you can get fired and go to jail for that because
Even
there
dead
is a
people. The mortician, you fuck a dead person, you gone.
because we have to admit that there is a certain level of, I'm not going to use the word consent, but August was not in his right mind to know whether or not this relationship was going to be appropriate. That man was ill mentally, physically, and he was a drug addict. So let's be honest, like that's three things working against him that would have him say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have sex with Jada. But Jada was in her right mind, and Jada wasn't on drugs, and Jada wasn't dealing with mental illness. So she had all the cards in her hand, and she could have said, even if August would have came to her and be like, you know what, I really want to smash. It was Jada's prerogative to say no,
Right.
because she's the one that understood how fragile his mental state was, even if he didn't understand at the time.
So, because I got one more topic that I want to talk about. But I feel as though, bottom line, when it comes to Jada, whether or not she's trash or not, all y'all ladies out there that's trying to justify what she did or say, it's not that serious or whatever, every dude that you ever said ain't shit because he fucked and ducked you, get over it then. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was your fault. You knew what the fuck was going on. You know what I'm saying? He ain't manipulate you. Get over it.
Agreed.
You tripping.
Agreed.
If that just offended you, then why the fuck are you trying to justify anything that Jada did? You know what I'm saying? But real quick, before we go, I did want to talk about something that a lot of people are talking about, you know what I'm saying? Because we talking about Jada, we talking about August, you know what I'm saying? But we haven't really mentioned too much about Will and his feelings and all of that and his involvement. Because Will, he been around for a lot of shit when it comes to Jada. You know what I'm saying? And some people been talking about Will and their opinions on him. So my question to y'all is Will a sucker? Is he
No,
tripping?
No.
no. I think I think whatever he enjoyed about Jada to make him want to be with her, that's why he's there. And let's be real, we know he probably got some outside booty somewhere. He's just
Mm-hmm.
again he made people sign the right NDA so they won't say nothing. I
Mm-hmm.
think Will one thing, and I gotta mention Jada because Jada has shared the most about the relationship. She said Will put her in a box. Will wanted a certain type of wife, and she acted like that, even though that didn't make her happy. I think he said it before. He realized that she was responsible for her own happiness. I think that's why Will is able to not take certain things personal. Because oftentimes in relationships, when we talk about our partners being with other people, admiring other people, we take it personal because we think it means something about us. When oftentimes it's something that's within them that they're dealing with. Like she said, she wanted to feel wanted. Will was like, well, what do you mean? I do this, I do that. Well, what does wanted mean to you? Once you figure that out, then come back to me because I love you. You make me happy with who you are. But if you're not happy with who you are, then figure it out, and then I can figure out if I can be happy with the new you. So I don't think he's a sucker. I think he loves somebody, and he knew how to give her the appropriate space. He knew. I'm gonna tell you like this. He knew who he got when he got her,
Yeah.
and he knew how she was living. He knew what her personality was, and I think he just wasn't gonna stress about it. Like, listen, I got a lot of money. I'm still attractive at over 40. I'm gonna find somebody else if I really
Say that
need
shit.
to.
Right.
You know,
And
I'm gonna get me somebody else if I really need to. However, I think also because it seems like they have a friendship and I think they genuinely like each other as people is why there's also this space for growth and healing that Jada talks about often that Will is able to provide, and that's why they've been together as long as they have been.
yeah, and that's very important, man. I for one don't think Will is a sucker.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it depends on your perspective, or I guess your definition of what a sucker is. Is he a sucker for staying with her after all of this shit? Uh, I don't think so, because they have an agreement, and that's what people get in the shit twisted. When two people, as they showed and displayed, when they have an agreement against with each other, and either party is not willing to break that agreement, then it doesn't matter what anybody has to say about nothing, because we understand each other. And I understand what you were doing when you were doing it. I didn't like it. I expressed myself about it. And you know what? I know that you're mine. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? When you're done experimenting or figuring out what this new you needs to be, goddamn, we gonna handle this shit like we always handle everything. Is, let people know that you fucked up and that I look good because I'm Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? And that we continue to move forward. And that was a partnership to me. And that's where a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people get shit twisted. And that's where August kind of fucked up too. Even though he had all the mental health issues and the drugs and things counting against him, there should have been something that says she's already involved with fucking Will Smith. She wasn't involved with El Dottie. You know what I'm saying? She was involved with fucking Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? That's who she was
Mm-hmm.
involved with. That was her husband. Whether they on the bridge or separate, until they say we got a divorce, nigga, you better fall the fuck back, because that's fucking Will Smith. And he has power. You know what I'm saying? And Jada knows that. She just went through something. And the fact that Will was there to work with her through that, because a lot of people relate sex to a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Didi. Oh, so she's not happy with me, or I'm not making her happy. You know what I'm saying? And she might have really enjoyed the sex. Does that say something? Did she not like my sex? Was it something about that? You know what I'm saying? And we have to really start to separate these things, and that's what they've done. He no longer he didn't correlate sex and his relationship with his wife. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That was the least of the issue. The issue was that you fucked with this unstable ass little ass boy, and you got this little boy out here spreading shit, got us looking funny out here in these streets. You need to tighten up your shit because you ain't see not goddamn either any one of my hoes step out of line. And I wish one of them bitches would. I'll be suing the fuck out their ass, goddamn. Jada, fix it. You better fix it, damn it.
Hey,
And
one thing that I did want to say, sorry, Izzy. One thing I did want to say is that I don't agree about people trying to demonize Jada is saying that she cheated. You know what I'm saying?
no,
Because
she didn't.
Jada didn't cheat. For one,
Definitely.
they're in an open relationship. You know what I'm saying? So their
Well,
boundaries are
no,
going to look.
they
Well,
never
hold on,
said
hold on, hold
that.
on.
Allegedly.
Hold on. Let me finish. That I'm saying they were in an open relationship like from jump. And I'm saying or they might not even describe it as an open relationship, but whatever the dynamics are of their relationship are going to look different from the traditional monogamous relationships that a lot of us are accustomed to. So we just and Lanaja kind of touched on this just now, but a lot of us wouldn't be able to comprehend. You know what I'm saying the shit that Will was willing to, you know what I'm saying, put up with or deal with. You know what I'm saying, et cetera, et cetera. But two, the most important part, they were separated or broken up or whatever you want to call it when all of this shit went down. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm calling her trash for is her manipulation, her predatory behavior, whatever you want to call it, over somebody that she knew was clearly vulnerable and that she knew she already kind of had under her wing. Oh, I ain't mean to do that. My fault. That's what I'm calling her trash for. But in terms of like trying to say that she violated the relationship in any capacity, in terms of like overall faithfulness and shit, nah. Now, was it a little dirty that she picked somebody that was so close to the family? Arguably so. But in terms of like just overall fidelity and all of that shit, I wouldn't say that. But I think what a lot of people are trying to say about Will is that even before this, you know what I'm saying, Jada has been publicly speaking out about how, romantic she is with damn near everybody but Will. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where some people are coming from when they're asking or saying that, Will is a sucker or couldn't be them or whatever. So that's kind of what I wanted to get at, particularly with the Tupac shit. You know what I'm saying? Because she been dragging that for, forever. You know what I'm saying? And Will also spoke about how he was, jealous of her and shit like that or whatever. And, overall, with all of that being said, is he soft? Is he, a sucker? Is he dumb for sticking around through all of that, plus this shit, and still being there and sitting down at the table and openly addressing that?
So personally speaking, I don't think Will is a sucker. And the reason why I don't feel like he's a sucker is because it's clear to me that Will and Jada have had conversations on what their relationship is and what their relationship will be. So with that being said, all the speculation and all the comments that everybody has about how trash their marriage is or whatever, like that's all good and fine, but only people who get to determine what their relationship is going to be is Will and Jada, and they have not decided to divorce, and they've also never came out and said that they have an open relationship. They actually came out and said they don't have an open relationship.
Oh,
And
really?
so yeah, they've spoken about that and said they're not swingers and they don't have an open relationship. So for me, when I hear people like interjecting all these things about what they think Will and Jada are doing, I think people need to cut it out, because at the end of the day, we don't know what goes on between Will and Jada. We're not in the room when they're having their conversations. We're not on the phone. We're not in those text messages. And granted, do I want a relationship that looks like that? Hell no, because Will would have been dead if he would have played me to the left like that. But at the end of the day, like, I do feel a certain way about how she treated August, but I'm never going to say she cheated on Will, because there was an agreement. There was an understanding that they were not going to operate and function as a married couple, and they were separated for at least two years. So that's a long time to be going without sex, and you was married to somebody and probably was having sex, for 20 plus years before then. So we have to be realistic about certain things when it comes to that. Now, some people were saying Will looks sad, blah, blah, blah. His eyes were watery. I'm like, Will has been looking like that for the last 5 years. cut that out. You know what I'm saying? Like his eyes been looking glassy like that.
He been practicing for a part he plans.
Hey,
Well,
I ain't gonna hold you. That man looked fed the fuck up with whatever was on his mind. I ain't gonna hold you.
what's it
Yeah,
called? There was a
yeah,
comment in here about that bad marriage for life comment. And I think that was really just a joke. Like, I think people are taking that bad marriage for life comment a little too seriously. I think it was them just playing on the fact that people think their marriage is trash, and they're like, no, we've actually worked through a lot of stuff and we're on the other side. I just think, and I think I've said this in our group chat, so often we romanticize marriage that we forget it's a relationship like every other relationship. It
yep,
goes through turmoil, it goes through change. And I'm like, just like we say, you when you see somebody's highlight reel, you don't see the games they lost, you don't see when they failed. It's like
Mm-hmm.
they had a moment in their marriage, which a lot of marriages go through. It's like some of y'all probably got an auntie and uncle that slept in different rooms for a couple of years and you ain't realized why. That was them being separated, but they ain't rich. So it wasn't another mansion to go to on the property.
right,
You know, your uncle slept here, your auntie slept there. Or, you know, some of y'all might got an auntie or uncle that don't look like the rest of them because that was that time your mama and daddy was separated. And when she came back with a surprise. So, you know, it happens. We just don't talk about it enough, and we think something is bad because people took time apart. I think it was smart. I think they have a lot. You know, when you're married to somebody for 20 plus years and you have the assets they have, just walking away and getting divorced is not an easy thing. You got to
no, it's
really
not.
think about it. You got to
Yeah,
really put some effort in. Like, is this what you really want? And I don't think it was a lack of love or he had for Jada, but it's also like, listen, I can't make you happy, and it's starting to make me resent you, and I don't want to do that. So let me give you your
Mm-hmm.
space to figure it out. I'm gonna do me, and if we decide that we still want to do each other, let's move forward. Another thing, you know, when they mentioned Jada's past and oh well, she has a past too. R. Kelly was touched as a child too, and
Mm.
while I get why that might have influenced some of his stuff today, that doesn't take accountability of all the shit he's doing to the women he's done in the past and does now. I get that Jada has definitely had a hard life, but again, at the age she met him, at the time she met him, at the stage where she was when she met him, and again how she wanted to insert herself into his life, you plays fuck up some too sometimes, and you messed up, and you know, hey, you gotta take accountability for that and move forward, and not and understand that that person might be hurt for a while, that young man is gonna be hurt for a while, and that's okay too. Like,
Yeah.
people have their, you know, you can't put a time clock on their healing. But as far as Will, you know, Will, I just think something about his personality. And he said it in an interview one time. I think he is truly content with who he is, and I think that's how he deals in his relationships. And dating somebody like Jada, who is a fixer, it's hard to date a man who's content. Like, a lot of
yeah,
women say they want a man that's a certain way, but a lot of women want a project. They won't
Mm-hmm.
admit it, but they show it in their dating choices. And when they get with a man who is not a project, they feel useless. And like Jada said, I don't feel wanted. And then Jada has said in other interviews about, you know, I don't know if y'all remember when she had that rock band, but like she was trying all these weird things, and it was like that's the life she wanted to live. But when she got with Will, she went 100% to let him do his career and her be the supporter, and it made her so resentful. And I think being with this young man like August, it was this wild thing. You know, it takes you out your shell and out your box. So I don't think they have a bad marriage. I think they have a human marriage. I think they have a human marriage where it's just like when people talk about parenting. You know, now we've seen people start revealing more like, sometimes I don't like being a parent. Like, sometimes these kids are on my goddamn nerves and people get offended by it, but it's the truth. Sometimes your partner's gonna get on your nerves. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you may like them, but you ain't feel like loving them right now, or vice versa. You may love them, but you damn sure don't like them right now, and that's okay.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
that's very key. A lot of people who have these negative things to say about their marriages, their marriage are in marriages that they don't even want to be in for real. A lot
yeah,
of people are talking shit and they don't even they shit ain't together. You know what I'm saying? My thing is these folks have a agreement against the two, but between the two of them. They know what the fuck going on here. They got it together. A lot of motherfuckers would have gotten divorced over that shit. Niggas can't be boyfriend and girlfriend without breaking up over some bullshit. So if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have the stamina or the endurance to go through a true relationship and marriage for better and for worse, like truly as the words say, then I don't really think you can say anything. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are talking about them when they good. Y'all don't have the resources that, and I go back to that because that is very key. They have the resources to figure that shit out. And like y'all said, when they have those assets and things they've acquired over time when being together, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all probably ain't tripping over the $500 niggas got together in the everyday marriage. You know what I'm saying? But these niggas got assets, they got money, they got wealth. You know what I'm saying? And that shit takes a lot to distribute between everybody. It just makes sense. It's cheaper to keep it, as they say. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we can't talk about some shit that we don't even understand the full dynamic of, because they came on the red table talking, didn't say shit. 12 minutes not saying shit. And if you're not smart enough to read it, if you're not smart enough to read in between the lines, then you're the one who's mad at the whole situation. If you're smart enough to read in between the lines, you like, oh, okay, I see what they did there. Goddamn, checkmate, goddamn. And
Yeah.
point blank. That's how I feel about it, bro. It don't matter. Fuck it.
So I said this in a group chat where I was just like, I think it's real easy to say what you will and won't do when you're in a marriage, but you've never been married before and you really don't know what you're willing to do when you're in that marriage. And people were just like, well, I don't feel like that's true. I'm like, dog, you've never had to share your life with someone that you intended to share it with forever. You've never actually done that. You've never had to live with somebody with the intention of living with that person forever. You've never had to have children with someone with the intention of always being the married parents to those children. Like, there's a different dynamic that comes with being married. I've never been married. I would love to experience being married one day, but I am fully prepared to recognize that shit is not about to be a fairy tale every time. We all know people in shitty ass marriages, and they stay because they take their vows seriously. Now, am I gonna sit here and be like, couldn't be me? I would love to say couldn't be me, but my ass damn sure may end up fucking being Jaden without, taking advantage of somebody with mental illness. You know what I'm saying? I may end up being Will, where my man is over here having sex with whomever, and the shit is being, publicly displayed. And we have to be realistic and think about, right now it's easy for us on the outside looking in without having any context, without having any understanding of what their relationship is to them. It's very easy to say couldn't be me, or it's very easy to project whatever feelings or thoughts you have onto that situation. But at the end of the day, if their bad marriage works for them, they're gonna stay married and they're gonna stay in that bad marriage. And
Is it? I think something that you're talking about that's very important is the fairy tale marriage that everybody has in their mind. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that shit doesn't exist.
Because you know what? In fairy tales, they always show when everything is all fairy tale-ish and everything's all perfect. They don't show
Happily
what
ever
happens.
after.
Yeah, happily ever after. But they don't show you the after part. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? When they got tired of each other and goddamn, he was about to goddamn jump outside the castle walls and shit, and she don't win and fuck Sir get the butt a lot, you know what I'm saying? And goddamn, he took her back because she's the queen and shit. You know what I'm saying?
He asked her to make him some porridge. And she
Yeah.
like, get your own fucking porridge, you bitch ass motherfucker.
You bitch ass nigga, who the fuck you think I am? You know what I'm saying? Your highness, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody always looking at the picture perfect anything. But this is life. Life ain't picture perfect. Marriage ain't gonna be picture perfect. Everyday relationships are not picture perfect. We are in a fucked up world right now. And all in all, I think that this whole thing was a distraction to distract us from the real fucking issue, which is that y'all need to stay y'all asses the fuck home and mind your own fucking business. That's what the fuck they say. Stay your asses home and mind your fucking business. Because while y'all over here thinking about Will and Jada, goddamn, the whole these niggas plotting against us, thinking about how they gonna kill us off. But that's a show for another time, though.
But you know what? I think the whole fairy tale thing goes back to, like, people think relationships are all about love, but relationships are really about like.
Business.
That's the last thing.
It's a business.
Like, because baby, there's gonna be some days where the like is what's gonna take y'all relationship through the time. And so many relationships end, I don't think because of a lack of, they don't love the person anymore, but they don't like them anymore. Like, you ever be around a motherfucker you just don't like?
Your family. We have family members we can't fucking stand, but we love them because they family. That's the perfect example of being around motherfuckers you love but don't like. And we all have times when we remove ourselves from our own fucking family, and they birthed us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
And that's like a relationship. Like when you stop liking your partner, y'all are in a very dangerous space. You are in the red zone. And if y'all can't get that like back, y'all relationship has probably ended. And it can't go back because you will start to resent the person and you just can't and it's hard to come back from that. And I think that separation that Jada and Will have was like, yo, I'm trying to make you happy. This shit, like, I don't like your ass right now. Like, I can't do anything to make you happy, and I'm starting to resent you for it. And I'm not even like, I love you, and that's why I try to make you happy, but I don't like you. I don't fucking like you right now. And we gotta, sometimes you gotta take space for somebody to start missing them and kind of liking them again and give them a chance to fix it. And I just think we overlook that so much in relationships. Like you think every day you're gonna be in love with your partner, every day you is gonna be flowers and roses, and it's gonna be some days where it's like all y'all gonna have is like, and y'all like better be enough to push through. Because if it ain't, shit, you better start packing the
and
boxes.
and honestly, like, we see so many marriages where people still love each other and still end up getting divorced. But we see so many marriages where it was arranged and they didn't even know who the fuck they were married to, and those motherfuckers last. Arranged marriages last more than marriages where people knew the person that they were marrying. Think about that. That just goes to show that the foundation and actually being able to want to both make the shit work and recognizing that love is just simply not enough. Love for me is not, I'm not going to marry for love. I know that always sounds crazy when I say that shit to people, but I don't plan on marrying for love. Do I want to be in love with my partner when I marry him? Yes. However, I want to marry somebody that I like. I want to marry somebody that I could grow with, somebody that I could build with, someone that I could partner with. Because when the shit hits the fan, because it will, I gotta be able to stand that nigga face when he walked through the door. And that's all I need.
It's a machine, man. It's a business. Marriage is a business. It's a
And
business.
those things that make you love your partner.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To know that you can weather the storm with somebody, to know that y'all can fight anything together, bro. Any situation, y'all can come away from that together and still be on the upside, bro. You cannot take no shit like that for granted, goddamn. When you know you got a warrior next to you, goddamn. And y'all, well, no matter what y'all go through relationship wise, y'all define what that is. But as long as y'all got that understanding, like, yo, you my partner, you my tag team partner, we gonna make this shit happen, whether we together or not, then that's important. That's vital, man. You can't forget no shit like that. You can't go through the storm with everybody. Everybody can't weather the same storm. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, and that's why, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this. That's why the most important aspect of a relationship, in my opinion, is two things. The first thing is to subscribe to a Cold One podcast on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, you know what I'm saying, and Facebook. But then the second part is to have raw sex on the first date. You heard it here, folks.
Bye.
Views
Y'all
expressed by
talking about the
Demetrius are not the views
COVID.
expressed.
Wear a condom and wear a mask. But
Yeah,
COVID
all
and everything
or
else.
double mask on, all type of mask. You don't forget your Jimmy hat, goddamn.
Just put a face guard on. Just put a face guard on with the little visor. Just put that shit on.
Yeah, that'll work. Wear a condom. Please wear a condom. And don't double wrap them shits. The friction is gonna pop it. So goddamn, all you guys out there who double wrapping and shit just to be extra safe, goddamn, you gonna be extra fatherish.
Word. So definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. Ladies, we definitely appreciate y'all as always.
DD, man. Thank you, ladies. We really appreciate it.
Hey, y'all definitely got to come back to, again this Thursday. Again, everybody that's tuned in, make sure y'all come back, join us again on this Thursday at 9:00. We gonna have a little. It's gonna be a more fun topic. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some mixy shit. Y'all don't want to miss it, so definitely tune in. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Just search a Cold One Podcast. Very, very easy, very, very simple to find. And make sure y'all are telling a friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? Just holler at us. Come fuck with us. We definitely appreciate all the support. And even share this video stream with all your friends that might not have been able to tune into the live show. And you know what I'm saying? That's all I got for y'all.
Yeah, man. Hey, once again, like D said, just piggybacking off of him, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, man. The engagement really helps us out a lot, man. We like to do our best to bring y'all good content, and we like the fact that y'all are definitely being engaging. Y'all are helping the content to go along, man. We appreciate each and every one of you, man. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about a Cold One podcast, man. The ladies like to thank y'all again, Izzy. DD, we really appreciate y'all and y'all's time, man. Thank you. It is not taken for granted. And once again, man, it's your boy L Dottie.
And y'all already know it's your boy Big D.
And we like to thank you for coming back to another episode of A
A
Cold One.
cold one. Yes, sir. Y'all be safe. Stay y'all asses home,
Hey,
goddamn.
stay the
Cheers,
fuck
bro.
home, goddamn.
Cheers,
Niggas out
bro.
here, hey, and wrap it up, please. Safe sex is great sex.